Okay, today our retro review is for Babylon 5, and it is called Legacies after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and in Legacies we learn something more about the Minbari as they have someone who led the attack against the line that Sinclair fought in during the Earth-Minbari War. There is some concerns here as the Minbari ship comes in with its gun ports open, and the rather curt and generally closed-mouthed commander of the ship who comes aboard Babylon 5 in kind of a display of the body of their deceased military leader. And while Sinclair and Delenn do the diplomatic thing and greet them as they're coming in and make way for special accommodation that they need for it. There is some problem even that Delenn has with all of this, which during the course of the episode, we find out just exactly what. But let's go back and talk about what we learn from this rather than what the plot is, and talk about the Minbari society, which we have had hints at before, that there are two main castes. There's probably more than that, but two of the larger ones and more influential ones, the military caste and the religious caste. Also, a reminder that Delenn is on the Grey Council, something that nobody on Babylon 5 knows. It's not a Minbari. However, just about all the Minbari seem to know it, and she does have some clout along that line. Nevertheless, the military folk are certainly not happy about the Earth-Minbari War having been abandoned. The Minbari really didn't lose, even though Earth says that they won the war. The Minbari basically just stopped, and that's been established in previous episodes. And why they have apparently has to do with something that the religious caste wished, who had control of the Grey Council. So that's the background of where the Minbari problem is between their military and religious caste, and the military folks don't have much regard for humans, generally speaking, and not a whole lot for Sinclair either. But as the story goes on, of course, that all plays as part of the background and all of the things that are going on. Now, the B story is that there is a 12-year-old girl who has been orphaned and left on Babylon 5, who is kind of a artful dodger in order to survive. But she suddenly enters into a realization that she has telepathic powers. Now, this happens in what's called a mind burst. The girl's name, by the way, is Elisa. And she has what Talia Winters, who we haven't seen in a number of episodes now, describes as a mind burst. And this is when a telepath first comes into realization that they have telepathic powers, and it's like they described a deaf person hearing a rocket launch. It's something that is overwhelming and puts her in medical. And we start to see more of the disagreement that Ivanova has with Psychor. And on Psychor's side, they say that what we do is that we protect people who are telepathic. We give them a way to be better trained so they know how to use their power and not invade other people's privacy. And on the other side, Ivanova talks about how her mother was given drugs to suppress her telepathic abilities because she didn't want to join Psychor. She didn't want to go to prison, and the only alternative was for her to get drugs to keep her telepathic abilities under control. However, it led her to a state of mind in which she committed suicide. So Ivanova obviously has a reasonable dislike of the Psi Corps, generally speaking. Now, since we're on Babylon 5, there are other governments that can be involved. They didn't talk to the Centauri, interestingly, and we do not see Londo in this episode at all, but we do see Natoth, one of the Narns, and she comes with an offer to let Elisa go to the Narn homeworld because, and we find this out about the Narn, that they do not have any telepaths in their society, unlike virtually all of the other races. And so this is something that they say, we'll pay you incredible amounts of money, and all you have to do is give your genetic information so we can engender telepathy in our own race. And it seems like a good idea until she accidentally looks into Natoth's mind to find that there is not something that you can really relate to inside the lizard mind of the Narn. So next, she is taken to see the Minbari, to Ambassador Delenn, and Delenn offers, once again, not payment, not really anything, but that her needs would be met and that she would be placed in honor of their society. And so she has these choices, either to go to the two rather alien worlds, the Narn or the Minbari, or she can go to Psi Corps or go to prison or have her mind chemically altered. And how she comes out with it and how she decides on this is all part of the plot on the story. And it's a good story. It shows very realistic kinds of things with the regard from Garibaldi and Sinclair to the Minbari military folks, and the real reasons that while Talia may think that Psi Corps saved her life, that Ivanova considered it a form of slavery. It was that push and pull in both of the stories in here that kept it interesting, and how it came out wasn't really as important as what we learned about the characters and the societies that they came from. So I'd like to know what you think about this. This is Legacies from Babylon 5, and there's a two-parter coming up next time. I think I'm going to try to review both parts of it next week so we don't have to worry about the difficulties of two-parters. In a lot of places, two-parters, by the way, are... the first part is written as a complete story, and then it leaves a cliffhanger, and then they don't even write the second story until after the first one is aired. In this case, since J. Michael Straczynski has written this show pretty much in total for over 5 seasons, this two-parter will be something that really probably should be taken in one review. So we're going to do that. That's next week. And, of course, we have coming up Monday, we'll have a review of the second special of Doctor Who. That's Wild Blue Yonder. That is the number 2 of the 3 David Tennant, Catherine Tate specials. And then on Tuesday, of course, we'll have Deep Space Nine. On Wednesday, the original series of Star Trek, and then back here next week about this time. So I thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, don't go far.